just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Hey, yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's going on, y'all, man? Happy Wednesday. We are back with another one, man. GMS fam, the green room. You know what to do. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in, man. Share the live while you are in here kicking it with your boy. Tap in to the live chat, man. Let me know you are in here kicking it with Big GMS today. Hey, we got some things to discuss, man, but you know we start off the show with peace, love, positive energy, good vibes, passing it forward, hoping that you pass it along as well. Shout out to Samajan Smith, King Lukey, Vale, Subliminal Frequency, Jacoby Shell. I see y'all, man. I just rhyme right there saying y'all names, calling y'all names out, man. I'm always dropping bars without even trying to drop bars, man. This shit's crazy. What up, Big J? You know? Hey, let's discuss some things, man. Let's discuss some things. Hold on, let me post this on Twitter first so I'll, make sure I get this right because I want to be able to share it on the screen for y'all when I have it. All right, cool. There we go. I got it. Anyway, we got a few things to start out with today, but let's start out with a nice, fun topic first, which is the beginning of today's title. Mariah Parker said, would you ever do live call-ins? Yes, actually, it's been a while since we've done a GMS tap-in show, which is what I do with StreamYard. I usually do a StreamYard show where I give people the opportunity to join in and talk about certain subjects or whatever they want to talk about and then join in on the show. So if you ever want to do that, we will be doing that sometime soon. Just make sure you stay tuned for that and check out the posts and make sure you subscribe and follow all that good shit for when the announcement is and whenever we do the show. And I anybody can join in and talk and say what they got to say. You don't have to be on camera. You can just use your audio. But yeah, that's usually what we do sometimes. So yeah, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you actually reminded me because we will do a tap-in show very soon. Appreciate you. Now, something happened last night that I knew was going to happen. The last time we spoke about something that happened on 5150, we actually spoke on Marcus. You know Marcus, who was talking about him being a passion pimp. And during that conversation, in typical Corey fashion, he put Marcus on blast about a situation that kind of left Marcus confuzzled and discombobulated and a little bit hurt, if you ask Corey. And there was a whole discussion behind it, but, it kind of stayed where it was. But as you can see last night, it kind of sparked back up with more allegations and call-outs from Corey about that night, and just overall, apparently, Marcus being an emotional person. But this is where it started. We're going to start here, and then we're going to move on to other topics a little later. But let's watch this. This is something that I called out. I said, when you get too comfortable, things will start flying back at you. As a matter of fact, it's not even a coincidence that right before this moment, Craig said, Corey, he is a master troll. Corey knows how to press your buttons. He knows how to say the right things to get you amped up. He called it before it even happened. Now this is what transpired.
Yeah, for sure.
We gonna have Marcus one day. I'm gonna have Marcus call a bitch. Motherfucker, let's see how hellified Marcus is. I feel like Marcus, I ain't saying you lying about certain shit. You lie about this shit, but you don't lie about other shit.
I lie about what shit?
Oh, God, here we go. Can we just...
Hey, man, listen, man. You can feel how you feel, man. But I'm telling you, I was a hellified nigga up out there.
Wait.
What is was?
Wait.
Cause I'm telling you, man, I done humbled myself a whole lot. Man.
Go back.
I'm telling you, man, when I let the streets go, man, I let it go all the way. I said, you know what? I'm gonna start over.
What they say?
Wait, go down a little, just slow. Right there, Chief Cole ass. He makes you face your demons. Talk about you.
Chief Cole ass. He makes you face your demons. I agree. Niggas be capping sometimes.
Listen,
Craig,
man,
you had lost that day though.
You ain't proved to me. You ain't proved that I capped on none of that shit though.
Homie, you a crime if I tell Marcus, you an emotional little dude.
No, you're an emotional nigga.
Marcus, come on now.
Corey,
I be worried about you.
Oh,
I'll be trying to hurt you, Joe. But you an emotional little dude.
No. No, everybody got some emotion
Let's
too.
leave it at
Corey,
that.
Everybody,
you
look,
the most
I agree.
emotional
Everybody
nigga.
got some emotional shit.
Let's
Do
leave
you
it at
think
that.
I was mean when I brought up the time old girl was out there with the booty shorts on and her ass was out?
Because that was an interesting
It didn't
story.
bother me.
No.
It did bother you,
It
G.
don't, man.
Marcus, you know, this is what you forgot.
Uh-oh.
This is what you forgot.
Go ahead.
When old girl was out there with her ass out, somebody we know popped up. And we did eat inside that day, and we invited them to the table.
Mariah says Corey is not a good friend. Jared Willis said Corey loaded the clip. Holcomb Craig was so on point with that shit. Subliminal said Corey is getting really old with this call out bullshit. He would never do this to Craig. Samaj just said because Craig would beat his ass. It's probably, I mean, obviously it's not that serious. I think these guys got a lot of love, and I would say Craig and Marcus have a lot of respect for Corey. It's a little iffy to me. Maybe I think Corey just it leans on being a comedian a lot or way too much, but I mean, it doesn't seem like he has that much respect for people, but it seems like behind the scenes, when it's not the show, when he's just hanging with people or whether he's outside the comedy club, seems like a lot of people see a different side of him. So that's why I kind of give the benefit of the doubt outside of the show. And the reason why people still, like Craig or like Marcus still fuck with him, because they probably have a whole different side of Corey outside of the entertainment space or when he's doing this show.
You said on the show last week that we got our shit to go.
I said that shit because I was trying to save your face. I saw you hurt. But I'm telling you that.
I kind of call cap on that. Corey's not the type to save face for anybody. Corey's the type to, if he sees you down, he gonna put your head in the fucking dirt.
That night we ate in Bossa Nova, and somebody came up there with us. We wasn't with them.
Who was it?
We saw them, and they was at the table, and they even asked you what's wrong, because they didn't know what was happening.
What? Who was
Okay,
it?
so what point you trying to make?
No, I'm trying to say, I know you an emotional little dude. You ain't I don't think you know no cake ass nigga. I don't think you a cake ass nigga.
Yes, he does.
I'm saying
Yes,
that,
he
but
does.
I'm saying when it comes to matters of the heart, you still growing. Like when it comes to pussy that you around or whatever, you still think you hellified so you can control it. The point I'm trying to make is you ain't got no control over no bitch. I ain't got no control over none of these hoes for the most part. And I'm super,
Thank God.
super hellified.
See, thank God. That's the most real, honest
Let me
shit
tell you
Corey
something.
said in like
I get you.
14 years.
And I understand.
But you don't remember we ate inside, do you?
I don't remember the
Trust
whole
me.
night. I don't remember.
We ate
That's why I say
inside.
I don't remember that.
See, now that's the problem right there. And that's kind of what I wanted to point out. Corey believes that his situation, because he's not doing something or because he doesn't have something a certain way, he thinks in his mind, well, because I'm the bigger celebrity, because I am the bigger person in this situation, not like bigger person as in, I'm going to be the bigger person in the situation. No, because he's a bigger entity, that there's no way Marcus, this guy who's just coming up, who ain't made a lot of a name for himself, could be doing X, Y, and Z at a time when he didn't have a name for himself at all. But here's the thing. Women come in all different shapes, sizes, and fucking brain waves, nigga. So any nigga out here can finesse his way through a chick if he finds the right chick to finesse type shit. It doesn't really have to take a nigga with a lot of money. You see a lot of these girls will go after a nigga that's just famous. You could be hood famous, locally famous, and these motherfuckers will pull up on you. You could have a little bit of a juice in the hood or some shit like that, and motherfuckers will pull up on you. A lot of women are different, man. A lot of women have different standards. A lot of women don't have standards. A lot of women just see some shit and go for it. I think it's not even about him not believing that Marcus is this type of individual. I just think he is thinking from his perspective, hey, I'm Corey Holcomb, and if I'm not getting it like this, of course this nigga not getting it like this.
In particular,
Look, bro, we ate
we
inside.
went back and forth about that last
No,
week, and I was like, no, we ate inside. You
we
was like,
ate
no,
inside.
We got it to go. That's what you
You
told
was
me.
shook up, and it was somebody there. You don't remember that saw you shook up. You just don't remember everything that night. We even stood outside at the cars for about an hour.
Your bad memory ass remember some shit.
Want me to tell you how I remember?
What?
Because somebody called me and told me, you remember I was there that night.
What?
I was like, that's right.
This is getting
That's
good.
right. Me and you was out.
So somebody called Corey to gossip about Marcus so he could talk shit about Marcus, allegedly. I don't know this to be facts. I'm just guessing. If somebody randomly called you just to be like, hey, I was there, I was watching what you was doing on 5150 with Marcus, man. He was acting like he wasn't hurt, but I was there. I seen it. That nigga was damn near in tears.
And we read it to somebody.
Who's this?
Rise of Knowledge said, just tell Marcus, don't sweat it.
Okay. But I wasn't
getting
shook.
good.
What do you call it shook up? If I was mad, is that what you mean?
Want me to make the face you had?
Well, go ahead.
This that when you saw them shorts, you was like, that's a shook up face. You wasn't looking like that the whole night.
I said that last week. I was bitch, what you doing? Why you out here like that?
Right. But look, Marcus, I done
You trying to
man,
make
a
shit
nigga-
more than it
no,
is.
look, I'm serious.
Go ahead.
My homeboy Quincy, he bumped my bitch back in the day. He bumped my bitch. He got my bitch. But that's what Quincy do. He when you ain't around, Quincy holler at your bitch. That's what Quincy do. That's my homeboy. You got a homeboy like that, Craig?
Man,
But what they got to do about that? Ain't got nothing to do
why
with
you-
that.
why
No,
dog.
the
you don't
point
got
I'm
him
trying to
around,
make is
Craig talked about this before. Craig done talked about a few shits like this. He talked about how they've had a few co-hosts on the Craig Facts show previously, back in not back in the day, but in the past few years, and a couple of them have been women, and a couple have been some thick women, and a lot of these dudes, I guess, not a lot of them, but a couple of them, maybe one, maybe two, who knows. But apparently some of the guys at the Craig Facts podcast was trying to get at these girls behind the scenes and kind of like making it bad for Craig business-wise, because if he wants to keep having these women come on the show, if they, give them, some type of good conversation or it's good entertainment or it brings more viewers back, and now they don't feel comfortable coming back to the show because this nigga over here that was just talking to me on the pod slid into my DMs. Now it's like, nigga, you making it weird out here for us. You know what I'm saying?
Don't have him around.
when you lose your bitch, or when you catch your bitch outside naked, not representing the way she should be representing, I'm not saying you the only one been through that, but what I'm saying, that night, I was shocked at how you shook up. I was like, you don't know how this go? But I'm an OG who been through hell and back with bitches. I know the worst thing God put on this earth is a bitch.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
I
shit.
know it. You don't believe it yet. But you gon' believe it. As time show you how this go, you gon' realize the only reason I'm fucked up out here is because of a bitch.
Now, he may have a point there, and I gotta give him some credit for, even though he was getting on Marcus and sort of calling him out in the sense that, he's calling him hurt. He was saying he was hurt or saying he was sensitive. He still put a little bit of game in there to give the youngin', just so you know. And it's not that. And here's the thing. I don't think Corey ever lets him get his point across, so he doesn't think that Marcus is intelligent enough or even thinks the same as him. There's been several times where they're having a conversation, and while Marcus is trying to explain, although he has his southern style of trying to explain shit, or he may be taking a while to get to the point, they end up agreeing about the same things, but it's sounding like an argument because they're trying to say which side of their part is right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Corey thinks this nigga Marcus is intelligent enough to move around in society without his leadership. Now, when it comes to comedy, probably. But women, come on, man. If you actively choose ain't shit bitches, you cannot go out here and try to lead people into the relationship life of watch out who you, like, you could tell them to watch out for the chicks that you mess with, but that's pretty much it. You can't really tell somebody how to find a good woman or somebody that's really, really down for you. That's something that Mark is just going to have to figure out on himself. You know what I'm saying? And as far as like controlling chick, whatever you want to do, if that's how you do your thing. But I don't think Marcus is in the game of that, which is why he said that he's become a different person. I commend that, because at some point you got to realize this shit is a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep up with this bitch over here, that one over there, trying to do this and that, trying to make sure that I'm trying to keep this girl in check, and she don't want to listen, or she going out the way to try to sabotage my life. It's too much hell behind trying to be a player. You got to go ahead and either get the girl you down with and stay with that girl, and hopefully she does right by you, or just continue being a fucking bachelor for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of dudes, they be stuck in that mentality. It's almost like a high school mentality where they feel like they gotta continue to get every girl that they can get and try to hold on to all these different girls and make sure that they got one on the tuck. It's like, man, it ain't nothing but a headache. It ain't nothing but a headache. Take this guy as an example. Every single story he has of a chick is negative. You don't want those problems, because whether you are wealthy, whether you are poor, whether you are famous, whether you are unknown, motherfuckers will bring you stress. That's the type of shit that you need to be telling the youth. Now, speaking of stress, here's Jess. Now, I don't know what's going on as far as her situation, or if she's planning on, because I noticed that the Breakfast Club has not talked about this situation ever since it cracked off, and I'm guessing that they're either going that here's one of two things that I think the Breakfast Club is doing. Either they're waiting for Jess to pull back up to host to talk about everything that's going on and the comments she made, or the Breakfast Club is too ally of the LGBTQ that they're just not even going to bring any attention to it at all, and maybe not even have Jess come back, or whatever the case may be. But I do think that it's very weird how these platforms, because of course, right now it seems like they're pulling a Wendy Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, these platforms will talk about everybody, and then once the heat is on them, they don't want to address anything. They don't want to say anything because they too busy trying to save face. But they don't think about that when they put other people's situations on blast or when they talk about shit. So, anyway, as you guys may know, Just Hilarious has gotten herself into a little bit of a kerfuffle with the trans community, LGBTQ slash, I don't know, ADK, IDK, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of letters in this motherfucker. But she got, and I'm just going to refresh y'all memory, she got into a little bit of turmoil over this video right here.
Who the fuck is going to stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that. Who the fuck is going to stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who...
So that video caused an uproar with a lot of people, and you had a lot of think pieces. We actually talked about this a couple of days back and made sure that we showed the different perspectives of different people. I'm not a, like anybody knows who's been here since day one, I'm not a biased channel. I make sure I let people get their opinions off. I even speak on the opinions of others just so I can speak my opinion about it, because it's not just one-sided here. I'm not just going to show you the side that I believe or that I think is correct. I'm going to show you why I disagree with what somebody is saying. So let's fast forward. After this happened, Jess got into it with a couple people. T.S. Madison being one of those people, which we spoke about. You know, they had their little back and forth on social media. As a matter of fact, T.S. Madison went live today. I did not see it, but I guess she addressed everything that happened with her and Just Hilarious, and also a clip that I'm gonna play later because I found it on Twitter. I see Tasha K is trending. I'm like, why is this bitch trending again? What the fuck? And as soon as I clicked on Tasha K, I seen a video of T.S. Madison, and it was like 7 minutes long of her just completely dragging the shit out of this woman. I mean, it's just holy shit. But anyway, one person who got dragged into this mess was Flame Monroe, the OG, the one who is not lost, the one that speaks the truth, the one that lives their truth truthfully and honestly and genuinely, whether you agree with what Flame does or not. Crash on me if you want, but I believe, in my opinion, that Flame is the gold standard of what trans individuals should be like. And when I say that, I don't mean the way that they look. I'm talking about how they think and how they move. Being more here's the thing. Be more conscious of the fact that at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel inside, you made a decision to change your life. You did. Not society and not the way that you feel. You made a conscious decision to change your life. So you can only hope that people have enough respect and enough empathy towards you, while also remembering that this world isn't fair. This universe, this life, there's a difference of opinion. People believe different things. You can't be the person who feels like you are so special that the world needs to change for you. That's the reality of the situation. The world does not need to change for anybody. We can only hope. That's the reality. Now, when it comes to figuring out if there is some type of humanity left in society, you go out there and you voice your opinion. You voice your concerns. You say how you feel like this is unfair and how you've been treated, how the people like you have been treated. That's fine. That's all good. But now we have stepped into a territory where now trans women are going at biological women and then labeling them. Here's the crazy part. You can't call them trannies. You can't say they women with dicks. You can't say transvestite. You can't say none of these different terms that have been used in the past, right? You can't do none of that, or else it's labeled disrespectful and you are transphobic and all these phobics and all this other shit. But now, for some reason, in a crazy twist of events, we have trans individuals trying to tell biological women that they need to be labeled as cis, while the women are telling them, we don't want to be called cis women. We want to be called women. Because we're women. You know what I'm saying? Like and it's crazy because I knew this would happen. Specifically, black women have been a huge ally for the LGBTQ community. Only for these same individuals to turn around and tell them bitches, nope, you are not the gatekeeper of this. It doesn't matter what you're saying. And we're going to tell you that you're a cis woman and we don't give a fuck that you want to be called what you identify as. You're cis because it's a scientific term. Scientific? Whoa, hold the phone. Your only excuse for calling biological women cis women is that it's a scientific term? So you guys want to play with science? Is that where we're going? I mean, we tried to give you some grace and ignore it and be like, fuck science. Who cares? You feel like a woman. You can change to a woman, do what you want, cut your dick off. I don't give a shit. It's your life. But do you want to play the science game? Because last time I checked, y'all niggas said that was disrespectful. Am I wrong or am I right? This is the channel of common sense, by the way, if you didn't know. We're going to call out some things that make sense. We're not going to speak out of emotion. We're just going to get a little bit animated, just for, stream's sake. But just know that when you go and you start using the same term, this is the type of shit that white people have been doing to black people over the past couple years. Now all of a sudden we're the racists and now we're the sensitive ones and now we need to get like all this type. They're using the same shit against us. They even using woke. They using all types of shit against us that we were saying years ago that they were combating. It's the craziest shit in the world, but that's what fucking society we live in. A lot of people are nuts. And not even the sense of whatever you identify as. It's just the fact that you niggas can't think for yourself or think logically or have any type of common sense. You know what? Here we go. I'm rambling. Let's get to what the fuck the meat and potatoes are. No correlation to the shit I'm about to talk about with the trans community or Flame Monroe. But we gonna get to the meat and potatoes. Pause. Now, this person here, Angelica Ross, is a trans individual who doesn't like the fact that Flame speaks Flame's truth. This is another thing. It's like Flame is trans and part of the LGBTQ community, but a lot of them niggas hate him, because the motherfucker speaks from the heart and the motherfucker says what the fuck it is in plain sight, instead of trying to come up with different things or trying to have an imagination that is not conducive to reality. You gotta speak the real. I don't see anything wrong or phobic with what Flame does or talks about when it pertains to the trans community, but here's Angelica giving her think piece. Angelica says, it's always an issue when the trans girls get a lick in. I don't know what the N stands for. We want everybody to calm down. Flame was iconic for getting a lick in for the girls on Comic View on BET when Cheryl Underwood was hosting. She simultaneously revealed how transphobia hurts all women. Flame received huge blowback from that, and I think it hurt her career. So what does she do? She learns not to make transphobic jokes at cis women, but to use the old comedic skill of self-deprecation to get laughs. This is what internalized transphobia looks like. And then she joined forces with transphobic people to champion their right to be transphobic. We have been and still are let down by Flame because we remember the good old days when we were laughing with her and not at her. All right. Well, let's just say this. Because Flame decided to live Flame's truth, you decided to label Flame as transphobic. Why? Not because Flame was saying something that was phobic or saying something that was derogatory or dangerous towards your community. It was because it just didn't align with your narrative or whatever the fuck it is that you believe in. So now here's the thing. This society has gotten so comfortable with labels, so comfortable that it's getting to the point where they don't even know the fuck these meanings. They don't even know what the fuck it means. You don't know what any of these things mean. You saw somebody else say it about another person, and you saw that post got a bunch of likes and retweets, so you said, hey, let me use this same rhetoric for the next person, and we're just going to use it for the next person and the next person. Now, of course, this person did not leave unscathed, because I'm about to play for you what Flame Monroe had to say in response to her trans brethren. Listen to this.
Because she couldn't afford it. I know the roommate. I helped the roommate get a job when she put the roommate out. Don't have me bring the roommate on live and check that bitch and let y'all know why she doing all this. She ain't got no finances. Zero. Oh, yeah, somebody just sent me the thing she put out on Twitter, on Hollywood Unlocked, whatever she had to say about me. Baby, if you was that smart and you was that much of an analyst, then maybe you should have went into that because your other profession ain't working for you. You ain't no singer. Yep, you was on Pose. Good for you. I am proud of you, girl. They killed you off on Pose. And they... Shut up, Flame Monroe.
She's about...
I ain't worried about that bitch. That bitch was in the Navy. Nigga, go back and fight for your country.
She told that nigga to suit up.
Ow, warm ding going. Hey, Flame, Chicago Southside in the house. I saw Brian Saturday for my pedicure. He did a great job. My feet are gorgeous and feel fantastic. I told you, girl, Brian is a beast on the feet. Brian is a beast on the feet. Yeah, I saw that shit at Angelica Ross. I know right word about that hard ass nigga. She mad because she not on TV no more. See, that's what happened. She was living above her means, renting, not owning, renting a house that was $10,000 a month, and she had to move out because she couldn't pay the rent. See, I know the dirt. See, I just don't come after y'all until y'all come after me because I do research. I'm a research analyst. I know the dirt. Player, pimping, sir, ma'am, sir. And you still angry at everybody else because you cut your penis off. Let me tell you about the distraction tactic that was used at Just Hilarious. Because the trans woman, I'm being respectful, who came out was talking about periods and womanhood. She never said nothing about who looked like this or that and the other. When Just Hilarious addressed her, she was talking about periods and womanhood. She also said that women can never have periods, and Jess was not attacking the entire trans community. I didn't even take it like that. She was speaking to the person who publicly put out that statement. That's what she was talking to. But they took it another way, and then all these outside forces, these so-called activists and big name bitches jumped in talking about Jess look like a man. She's been mistaken as a trans man. You cannot bash a bitch who already told her real tea. Jess Hilarious was the one who put that story out on The Breakfast Club. She also says it as a joke on stage. So you can't hate the player, baby. You can't hate the player. You hate that the only information that you know about this woman is what she put out for you to try to turn and use it against her. Let me show you how much of a biological woman Jess Hilarious is. She had a baby. Quiet bitches on the outside, I don't hear you saying anything. quiet bitches on the outside. I don't hear you using your big words and your big titles and your soliloquies. Let me break it down to you activist bitches.
Hold up. Before I finish this, I need to make a quick point. During this whole thing, they were coming at Jess, you know, saying that she looked like this and that and saying she looked trans and shit. But one thing somebody said that was trying to stick to the point when they were talking about how, you know, women aren't the gatekeepers of periods and menstrual cycles. Here's another contradiction that they made. A woman goes, Jess, how are you talking about that women are the gatekeepers and how they are the only ones to get periods and menstrual cycles? Newsflash, trans men get pregnant. They have cycles. And I said, hold up. And it confused me for a second because I'm like, is there something new that I don't know? Oh, wait. Ding dong, light bulb. Trans men are women. They were women at one point. So, of course, they got pregnant. And, of course, they have menstrual cycles. Of course, they were bleeding every month because at one point, they were still a woman. And even as a trans man, getting those symptoms, that's the biological woman inside of you. I'm sorry that sounds phobic or hateful to you. But I mean, since we're on the subject of science, while we're talking about cis women, I'm just bringing up the science. I hope y'all ready to play that fucking game. Because we could do that all day. Just talking about the science. So you still have no fucking argument, in other words. Once again, proving her right that women are the gatekeepers of all the shit that was being talked about by a trans woman who used to be a man at one point, with all due respect.
When you are an activist, you are an activist for all causes. Your main cause is what you stand on, but you're an activist for all causes. I'm sorry you went to college and don't know that with your dumb asses. You fighting for a cause. Women only have... I know trans women who have had SRS surgeries that don't want to have periods. I know biological women that don't want to have periods. So why would you even be talking about a period? And then why would y'all come in talking about the way she look or who she got spooked by? That had nothing to do with the argument. That's a distraction, Donald Trump, or that's your lack of intelligence because you think you got all these followers and you got a big name that people are going to automatically fall into the play. That's what you say. What I need for my biological women is for more biological women to stand up for yourselves because here's the killer.
Damn.
As a young gay boy or as a young fag or whatever the word is.
Imagine somebody trans saying at this point, hey, biological women, stand up for yourself. Because in all reality, and this is some real shit that I seen somebody arguing. When they talk about the whole cis women thing and the label of cis women, the other argument, the other excuse that's being made as to why they should call biological women cis women is because of the simple fact that they're just trying to distinguish the two. But didn't you already distinguish the two by putting trans in front of it? Why in the hell do we need cis now? Oh, because we have to continue to bow down to your needs and the things that you want, even though it's out fucking rageous. What the fuck do you mean to separate the two? You already did. You call yourself trans women, trans men. That's already separating the two. Why the fuck do you need a cis in front of it? Seems a little weird to me.
It is 99% of us, our best friend was a female. Our best friend was a female. Then we found our transism and our gayism, and now we better than them. Y'all better pay attention. Your best friend was always a biological girl. Oh, but now you better. Girl, sit your dumb ass down. And I say girl with ridiculous. No, I ain't saying shit Amanda Seals put out. I know how Amanda Seals think. I know how she talks. She's pretty bright, but she's very angry.
Uh-oh.
I ain't angry.
You know, they brought up Amanda Seals for a reason. When all this stuff cracked off, Amanda Seals put up a clip of her and T.S. Madison talking about how trans women aren't jealous of biological women. But it's the thing. It's like that's a personal feeling. You can't speak for all trans women the same way you don't speak for all of them when you talk about your personal feelings. If you, T.S. Madison, aren't jealous of biological women, and you are somebody that acknowledges that you still got a penis and all this other shit, speak for yourself. Because what we're seeing in this whole display, the fact that Jess couldn't even respond to somebody going at women as a whole, and you saw the backlash she got, and even from other biological women crashing out on Jess because they want to fit into this mold of being the ally for a group that don't give a shit about them, that wants to actually take over their spot. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. You gonna go help out the side that wants to take over what you got going on. They want to be the you. And not even, see, that's the crazy part. We're talking about a whole different thing now. We're talking about a hostile takeover. It's not even about what you identify as. Now y'all niggas starting to try to do a hostile takeover. This shit is crazy. And you got motherfuckers on your side fighting for you that's only fighting for their own demise. See, motherfuckers will hear this and think I'm being transphobic or being hateful or trying to put out dangerous and harmful rhetoric. But no, man, we got to think logically, man. We cannot be scared to say what's on our minds or even use our fucking brains anymore. Logically, it doesn't make any logical sense as to why we have gotten to this point of where we actually forget what the fuck is going on. Then people talking about, oh, well, no, women aren't the gatekeepers of menstrual cycles and getting pregnant because there are still biological women who can't get pregnant. There are biological women who don't get their periods. They're still women. There's none of that. Like, no matter what type of medical complications they have, that doesn't negate the fact that they are still women. These are the excuses that are being used to discredit and minimize the woman. And then when you talk like this or speak on it, you get labeled a certain way because it's an easy way to dismiss what the fuck you saying that is clearly factual. It's not about what's real. It's not about what's factual. It's about the space that we're in as a society and what narrative to believe. And right now the narrative is you can't be a woman who is speaking up for yourself or defending yourself as a woman because the LGBTQ gang is going to come and crash down on you and you're going to lose opportunities and your career that you worked hard for is going to be in jeopardy because you decided to defend your womanhood. It's wild out here, man. It's wild out here. Matter of fact, I'm going to move forward because I'm not just somebody who plays the fence. Like I said, I will let both sides get it off. They got to get your shit off. Get your shit off. So T.S. Madison went at Tasha K because Tasha K has some things to say about T.S. and how she responded in this whole situation with her and Just Hilarious. Let me go ahead and because I don't want any problems. I know Tasha K owes about $4 or $5 million in lawsuits, and she's probably going to try to drain as much money as she can from every single last entity on every single last platform. So I'm just not going to show her face. As a matter of fact, even if she wasn't dealing with litigation, I don't like showing her face anyway because it's very disturbing. So just listening to what she had to say, and then I'm going to play the response from T.S. Madison.
She pissed me off. T.S. Madison pissed me off. Let me tell you, first of all, I've been pissed off with T.S., okay? I just should have. I did call her. But you know, when people show you who they are, you believe them. Okay. Now we're gonna clip this and put it out. Don't worry, she's gonna get it. She asked me to call her. I was supposed to call her. I ain't got time to call her. I got more fucking important things to do. But I did tell.
No, that's not about having more important things to do. You just wanted to rush to the camera with your little wino crackhead followers, and you wanted to be messy. You wanted to be a fucking a piece of shit and you wanted to be somebody who just wanted to cause controversy, because that's all it is that you're about on that page, is being a nasty, despicable human being.
Tell y'all she was gonna make the wine list. T.S. Madison, when I tell you, is the most unfoundational. The only thing foundational about T.S. Madison is her excellent foundation that she wears on her face to compete with us, okay? That's just what I'm going to say. Okay? That foundation is flawless. Actually got me wearing foundation because I was like, when I came on her show, I was like, I don't need no makeup. She was like, yes, you did. Just need a little bit of makeup. I was like, I don't need no makeup. But then, she met Envy. She gave me Envy. I was like, oh, okay, Envy did good. But I've always been a natural person. You know what I'm saying? I don't need makeup. But I guess maybe she felt like, well, I'm going to have on makeup and I'm going to be pizzazz and I'm going to have on lashes and all that shit. So you should too. I'm very secure in who I am. I don't need all that shit, okay? I don't need all that shit. Now. Sorry. Hold on for a second, Jasmine. I'm sorry. Give me a second, y'all. And I can say the same thing about DJ Academics. His hips is wide and he got big titties. Don't worry, I'll go for him later. Jasmine just sent me a text. Okay. DJ Academics wants to enter the chat and call Just Hilarious trans. But what the craziest part about it is I thought she was trans the whole time. This is the biggest plot twist of the year. And when we saw your sex tape, we thought you was hiding a strap on under that belly.
Okay. All right, Miss Tasha K. We're going to swing it over here because honestly, I don't like how she runs her shit. She's very all over the place and very weird. I'd rather hear what T.S. Madison had to say in response.
First of all, Tasha K, bitch, fuck you. Fuck you, you whirlpool, wishy-washy, flip-floppity ass bitch. I really wasn't gonna come on with no motherfucking malice or ill in my heart, because the second part of what I'm getting ready to talk about I don't have no malice or illness in my heart. But you bald head, scallywag, dirty foot dragging, drunk pussy ditzy bitch, play with your pussy, bitch, and don't play with motherfucking me, bitch. When you brought your struggling ass over here, bitch, I sent my makeup artist to fix your ugly ass up. Okay, let's get that for number one. Bitch, you borrowed from me. Number one. Number motherfucking two, bitch. If it wasn't for me and Kaya split, bitch, you'll be trying to figure out who the fuck you is. One thing T.S. Madison has always done is stood on that bitch. She is T.S. fucking Madison, bitch. I told y'all bitches I had dick at the bottom and titty at the top, bitch, from day one when the door fucking opened. And the only reason why I'm not gonna get on your mama is because your mama ain't did nothing to me. Now, bitch, you got 4 million motherfucking problems that you need to be worrying about, bitch. You flipping asshole. And you don't need to be worrying shit about motherfucking me. You need to be trying to take care of them 4 million motherfucking problems you got, bitch. Before them goddamn African kids be out there on Save a Child, bitch, paying 35 cents a day, walking around trying to get their next meal.
Oh, shit.
Find you somebody to play with, pussy asshole, bitch. I'm from Miami, Florida, just like, bitch, you from Florida. Punk, bitch.
Damn.
I never did shit to you. Brought your struggling, ditzy, drunk ass into my motherfucking house. That's how you phony bitches work. Off the door. Fuck your pussy ass. Fuck you and the motherfucking football head ass kids you got, bitch.
Damn!
Don't play with me, ho. I ain't never did drunk ass into my motherfucking house. That's how you phony bitches work.
Yo.
Off the door. Fuck your pussy ass. Fuck you and the motherfucking football head ass kids you got, bitch.
Damn. Now, look. Here's the thing. A lot of the things that happen that involve Tasha K is warranted because Tasha K goes out of her way to just get herself into shit. She gets herself into shit. And it results into people either ethering her or taking her money. I don't understand how somebody like that don't learn. That's like the crackhead in the hood that keep getting beat up every time he come around with change. He's talking about, hey, let me just get a little bit of something, man. I got these quarters. He always get ran off the block, but for some reason, they go to sleep, wake up the next day, forget he goddamn did it, and do it all over again. You just don't make no fucking sense, man. You would think somebody would learn. Damn. Now, before I get to this subject real quick, let me read this off. Shout out to Love Lake. She said, we have to do better as a whole society. Some things just should not be such a topic of discussion. However, I do appreciate knowing who feels this way or that. Just the way a lot of us will just disrespect one another without any thought process to it. It doesn't help or solve or help us get any closer to understanding one another better. In my opinion, we need to get closer to a point where we can have a difficult conversation of the minds without throwing insults at another. You are absolutely 100% correct. And it's going to be very, very, very hard for society to move in that way because of everything that's being sensationalized to the public. With access to multiple social media platforms, and all you're doing is consuming all this information and all this drama and all this bullshit on a daily basis, you eventually get sucked into it. Pause. And then that's at a point where you have to decide how you will move from that point on. Are you going to be somebody who will contribute into being the messy person? Or are you going to be somebody that contributes into trying to find a solution, or not even trying to find a solution because we don't have the answers to shit, but being somebody who speaks some type of logic and common sense into the conversation? Don't feed into the sensationalized bullshit that's going on. Don't just go off a headline. Try to have a deep conversation, or try to have some type of intellect behind the shit that you're saying. I think that's very important for society, but I don't think we'll ever reach that point because of how deep down in the fucking gutter we really are. But that's just what it is. Now, let's see. Who else? You said I don't see a message from. Where is Glittery? Mike Reimer, he said, I support Glittery Bubbles. Where is Glittery Bubbles? I don't see her. I don't see the name. Where is Glittery? Damn. Where the homie at? Anyway, let's get to this, man. Let's just talk about this real quick. Bronny James, yesterday everybody found out that Bronny James, the oldest son of LeBron James, suffered cardiac arrest during a workout with USC, which obviously sparked a lot of controversy, especially with the group of individuals who believe that all of these things are being caused by a certain jab that was introduced to the public in the last few years, while the other side is saying, hey, this is something that happens. It's just now it's all up in the air. We don't really know how it happened, what happened. You can only speculate. Nobody actually has the facts behind what happened to him besides the doctors, or who knows. I'm just here to share what happened.
This morning, LeBron James's 18-year-old son, Bronny James, is recovering after going into cardiac arrest Monday. Bronny, an incoming freshman on the University of Southern California men's basketball team, collapsing just before 9:30 a.m. during practice at the Trojans' Los Angeles facility.
Rescue unconscious, 3400 South Figueroa, across the Jefferson, Channel 4 response.
USC medical staff jumping into action, performing CPR on Bronny before he was rushed to the hospital.
It truly, truly matters, especially in those first 30 seconds. CPR and calling 911, and if there's a defibrillator, getting the defibrillator out, and if it says shock, shock.
The LA Times reporting Bronny James lost consciousness and was taken code 3 lights and sirens to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center by ambulance. The James family telling ABC News Bronny is out of the ICU and recovering. A spokesperson releasing a statement saying LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the USC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes. Bronny's younger brother, Bryce, sharing this photo on Instagram with a heart. Experts say although cardiac arrest is rare in young people, it can happen suddenly with little to no warning.
This unfortunately can happen. It can happen in high school athletes. It can actually happen even way before that. Typically, if it's occurring in peak exercise, that is a very concerning feature for loss of consciousness.
According to the American Heart Association, if performed immediately, CPR can double or even triple the chance of surviving cardiac arrest outside of a hospital. Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills safety who suffered cardiac arrest mid-game last year, sending Bronny his well wishes, tweeting, "Prayers to Bronny and the James family as well. Here for you guys just like you have been for me my entire process."
Now, Bronny is 18 years old. Of course, the subject of, well, are they vaxxed? Came up. And, of course, they are. I'll tell you like this. When LeBron first spoke on the jab, he wasn't really for it in the beginning. He had his concerns. As a matter of fact, he was catching backlash like, of course, the forces would do when they want to push something on society. He caught backlash, and being somebody who has always been on the upstanding side of society, he doesn't necessarily like backlash that pertains to him and his family or whatever the case may be. So I'm pretty sure with that pressure and because of the fact of the NBA's regulations and different shit like that, or the different regulations that have been happening across America, he went along and did it. Him and his family did it. I'm pretty sure now he is questioning that decision. And this is not me being anti anything. I'm just saying, for somebody to be in that position and to probably see some of the things that are being said, you got to kind of wonder. You know what I'm saying? You have to wonder why it happened, how it happened, if that could be a possibility. The crazy part about it is, after this happened, Elon Musk tweeted out about it. And he said something and basically kind of hinted towards the fact that it could have been related to the jab. Listen to this.
Shortly after this announcement about Bronny, Elon Musk also weighed in on this collapse, and he was pushing some anti-vaccine conspiracies. He says we can't ascribe everything to the vaccine, but by the same token, we can't ascribe nothing. He says myocarditis is a known side effect. The only question is whether it's rare or common. What do you make of that?
Well, again, I don't have enough expertise to say that's flatly wrong or that there's something to it. However, we do know that generally speaking, there are people who are inclined toward believing that the vaccine is some sort of devil's potion and ascribing everybody who has a health episode subsequent to vaccination, ascribing all of that to vaccines. Just in the sports world, the great Hank Aaron died about 2 weeks shy of his 87th birthday, and he had other medical conditions. He had been vaccinated, and I remember all the talk from certain precincts, well, if he hadn't been vaccinated, he'd still be with us. You know, we live in a world now where anything you don't want to be true doesn't have to be true, with a mountain of evidence and a choir of angels attesting to it. And anything you do want to be true, well, you don't need all that much evidence. Or you can say, I did my own research, which often means, not always, but often means you discounted everything that didn't match what you wanted to believe in the first place until you found something that supported it, and aha, there it is.
That has been society for the past, I don't know how many years, especially during Trump's run, especially during that shit. There were so many people, especially during the QAnon era, talking about, do your research, man, do your research. The research you want me to look up is talking about everything that supports your narrative. Anybody that is telling you to do your own research doesn't understand that people are already seeing these things on the internet. And on top of that, people will tell you some shit like that, like, oh, where'd you get your news from? CNN? Or where'd you get your news from? Social media? It's like, we all get our information from the same fucking internet. Nobody has a special fucking place, a special website that they go to that only tells the 100% truth about life. No, nigga, you went to Google like every single other person that does research, and you found out what you wanted to find out. And still, none of us know what the fuck is going on. I don't care how much you read. I don't care how many articles you go through. I don't care how many rabbit holes you deep dive in conspiracy theories. We still don't know shit. I think it's a mental illness to speak in a matter of fact about something you actually don't know about. And that's what a lot of people do on the internet. They see the headline of Bronny, he cardiac arrest. It was the vaccine, and it had to be. Or the people that say, 18-year-olds, this is something that happens. This is normal. It's like, no, none of this shit. None of y'all are right. Y'all have no idea what the fuck happened. And I think that's how people should take these situations. Like, right now, if I was to see this video of Mitch McConnell completely forget that he was in a room full of reporters with cameras out speaking, I will probably be the type of person that's like, yep, it was a vaccine that did that to this nigga. Look at this. Watch this. He just stopped talking. He just stopped talking and was staring off into space like he done seen a demon and just got into a trance. Everybody wondering what the fuck just happened to this nigga. Look at him. Look at Mitch. Look at old Mitch. Look at this Mitch ass nigga. Look, he don't know where the fuck he at. Why do we keep putting these old niggas in office? Why do we uphold these mother? It should be an age cutoff. There needs to be an age cutoff for people that are in office and who run shit in politics or in the government. Why do we have these niggas in positions of power that we have? This nigga did not know where he was at after 5 seconds. Look, let's count. How many seconds did it take for him to forget where he was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gone. Old Mitch is gone. What do y'all think he looking at? What do y'all think this is? Y'all think people out there gonna be like, oh, it's the vaccine? No, motherfucker, they gonna be like, get this old nigga out of here. Look. Nah, this is what you call cardiac arrest. I don't know what the fuck happened with this nigga. They need to reboot the system. This is a robot. This is one of those new AI things. I think Mitch McConnell, now you want to talk about a conspiracy theory. This could lead so many conspiracy theories right here. Like, they'd be like, yo, this is a clone. This is a robot. This is AI. How did he just forget and just stop? Did they forget to charge him the night before? Did they forget to plug him up? What happened? The weirdest shit in the world. I also have no reason why I wanted to show you that. I just thought it was hilarious. I seen it on Twitter. I was like, hey, what's wrong with this nigga? They need to reboot the system. What the fuck happened to this motherfucker? Now, one last thing I do want to speak on is this quick contradicting subject before we get out of here. Now, Young Miami of the City Girls, y'all know the City Girls. Y'all know the ratchetness that is the City Girls. Young Miami had to come out and defend her son because he was out on stage throwing money on grown women's asses. Now, here's the thing, man. I know some people be like, oh, man, it ain't shit. It wasn't like they was putting the ass on them, man. It wasn't like they was. Nah, man, fuck that shit. We live in a world of double standards, and as long as double standards are alive, people will make excuses for bullshit. You cannot have a 10-year-old girl on stage throwing dollars at men, grown men in G-strings with their dicks flopping, or else there will be a problem. Am I right or am I wrong? Motherfuckers get on Boosie case every chance they get. Whenever he speak out and say some shit that got some common sense to it, then them niggas want to revert to some shit that happened in the past. Oh, he let his son get this, his son. Oh, you so concerned about what his son doing. Why the fuck y'all ain't say? And on top of that, when he talk about his son 15, 16 years old. We all know we was out there trying to twiddle some pooter and get our dick sucked at 15 years old. So stop fucking playing. Not that it's right and not that it should be happening, but motherfuckers, stay in reality. How many 10-year-old boys you know in this fucking world throwing fucking dollar bills on strippers? How many? But hey, don't let me tell it. I see the contradictions every single day. I know that humans are always trying to save face and they always coming up with excuses. So instead of me saying it, how about we let Young Miami contradict herself in her own words?
Y'all remember that video where Young Miami was saying that she didn't want her daughter being a city girl?
But what if Summer comes to you, as pretty as she is, and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl?
She ain't gonna be no city girl. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and she's on a whole nother wave.
So, it's not okay for her daughter to do things of that sort, but it's okay for your son to do things like this.
Interesting.
Y'all don't see the problem here?
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's crazy because to sit there and talk about how you don't want your daughter to be like you when you are encouraging other people's daughters to be like you is fucking crazy, right? Is that crazy? Nigga, is that not wild to say out loud? Like, it's one thing to think it. It's one thing to think it, but to actually come out and say it, like, why are you promoting this shit if you don't even want your daughter to be that? You encouraging these women to be like you in these songs that you create. See, I was having this conversation on Twitter before. I was about 5 minutes late for the show today because I'm going back and forth with somebody about the contents of music. NLE Chopper coming out with a new song. He just sampled Nelly's Hot in Here. He could have went in any fucking direction he chose for this song to remake this song. You know what he did? Talking about killing niggas. I have had enough of this shit. You motherfuckers trying to remix every fucking song from the early 2000s and 90s and try to talk about drilling niggas and shooting niggas, killing niggas, all types of shit. Give it up. Pick a new fucking subject. You can't be a nigga out here one day talking about eating healthy and doing all this and having a holistic diet and trying to live better and do better with your life and then turn around, get on the record and try to encourage motherfuckers to go out here and shoot niggas. And I know motherfuckers try to use the excuse, well, it's just like the movies and it's just like this, you know, all these things have violence in it, but nobody blames the movies. No, people do blame movies. Also, people blame books as well. Movies encourage people to be violent. Books have encouraged people to be violent. Matter of fact, it was a book that helped a white man kill, what's his name, from the fucking Beatles? John Lennon. Was it John Lennon? I think it was John Lennon. Everything has influence to it. It's and when you realize you have a certain level of influence, you have a responsibility to do with it as you please, but responsibly. And if you choose not to, then you are being complacent and you are contributing to the fuckery that is happening in your own community. So it's bullshit and it's contradictory to sit here and say that you don't want your daughter to be what you are out here being and showing and displaying for other young girls, basically saying it's wrong. It's not right. That's not right. I'm not with that. I don't support that. And I think that Young Miami should actually be getting more backlash or should be getting whatever the fuck negativity back towards her like most people would in this situation. Talking about you don't want your daughter to be a city girl. You are the city girl. You saying you don't want your daughter to be like you. And what type of parent doesn't want to be an example for their child? And let's go a step further. What makes her think that her daughter is going to be anything opposite of what she is? Let's talk about that. What makes you, that's a fantasy for you at this point, Young Miami. Your daughter is not about to be the scholar or whatever the fuck it is that you said you wanted her to be, because she's going to know that in this society, what is upheld, what is seen as the norm, is what her mother's doing. Oh, I can be lit. I can have jewelry. I can have money. I can have these niggas. I can do all this shit. I could be popular. Why waste my time at school? Why waste time trying to be something better than what I can be if I could just have it all right here? All I got to do is mimic what my mom did and what my auntie did. You think your daughter is going to be like, oh, I see my mom doing all this cool shit off of being a city girl, and be like, nope, that's not going to be the life I want to live. You think that's going to be what her response is? Hell no. Both her mom and her auntie lit out here. And I'm going to take a little bit of step further and just take an educated guess that was the only time Young Miami said that she wanted that type of future for her daughter. I'm pretty sure she doesn't actually tell her daughter this behind the scenes, in closed doors. Because if you got your son out here on stage throwing dollars at strippers, you definitely don't give a fuck about telling your daughter shit. Man, it's crazy how these double standards be killing folks out here, man. Then you got people riding for that shit. You got people supporting that shit. It wasn't like the kid. Charlamagne was supporting that shit. Talking about, look, man, it wasn't like the kid was, Charlamagne. Because then the following next day on The Breakfast Club, you talked about how it was inappropriate for the lady that was there for her son to be there. Standing in the room with y'all at The Breakfast Club, and y'all ain't have no ass shaking in there. Y'all was just talking. It's the contradiction, man. And a lot of these motherfuckers only be saying shit in support of the people that they like. Not because what they're thinking is logical or that there's facts behind it. It's because they like these motherfuckers and they like to keep these relationships with people. Charlamagne's a goofy for that. Oh well. No hate. No hate. I'm not being hateful towards Charlamagne. That's just, he's a goofy for that. You can't say that it was cool for a 10-year-old to be on stage throwing dollars at hoes while they shaking ass, and then in the same fucking breath the next day talk about how it was inappropriate or you don't think it's good for another person's kid to be sitting in the room with y'all at The Breakfast Club. Like, come on, man. Come on, bruh. It's the bias in this entertainment industry, man. That's how it go. That's really how it go. But nonetheless, we are going to maintain this level of logic and common sense right here on this channel. So make sure you continue to pull up like you always have. GMS fam, the green room. Hey, I gotta ask y'all, I gotta put this out there in the atmosphere. Y'all gotta understand something. Over these past few months, all these rules and regulations have been changing on these platforms, YouTube, Twitch, all these things. This is why a lot of these people are moving over to other platforms like Kick and Rumble and all the other shit, because these platforms are trying to not only rob us, but deprive us of excelling out here on these platforms. And it's mainly black faces on these things who they try to deprive or try to have them fall in line with a lot of shit. So with me, personally, I don't really like falling in line that much when it comes to these YouTube regulations, because I see the contradictions in it and I see the setup. But although I don't like to do it, that still brings them to come to this place and try to shadow ban the channel and try to do all types of shit and demonetize the channel, try to prevent me from actually excelling or doing something like that. But it hasn't been up to YouTube for y'all to pull up on me and show me love whenever I go live. So with that, I want to say thank you, and I appreciate y'all a lot. And also, if y'all want to help out the GMS show and y'all want to see us thrive and y'all want to support us and be a force in us thriving, you can always show your support by hitting that Cash App, man. You see the Cash App below, man. If you want to donate to the GMS show, do your thing. But also, you just showing up has been enough for me to continue to keep going, because I really do love doing this shit, man. Just got to put it out there in the atmosphere that these platforms are really, really fucking with the people on these platforms and these creators that are coming out here and actually doing this shit on a daily. You know what I'm saying? So support these people that are on these shows, support the people that you love, support the channels, all that shit, man. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Shout out to the people that got us to 19K on Instagram. Shout out to the people that got us to 16K and 1 million on TikTok. Shout out to the 26K subs right here on YouTube. I appreciate every single one of y'all. GMS fam, the green room, it's been real. Shout your city out right now. I want to shout out every single person in the chat. Shout your city out. Let's go. GMS fam, the green room. Y'all know what time it is, man. Where are you tuning in from? Hey, we got Mike from Atlanta in the building. I see you, Theodora. Love Lace, King Lukey, I see y'all. Hurricane, my G. A lot of people that speak the truth end up getting shadow banned. Ain't that something, huh? I see you, Infinite. Avenue P is in the building. Hurricane, JW. Sunny Darko is in here. Vale is in here. Look at all these different cities, man. We got Atlanta, Plymouth, Chicago, Roku City, Detroit, Nanjamoy? How you say that shit, Sonny? Nanjamoy. Vallejo. What up, Daryl? We got Charlotte in the building. Sumter in the building. The DMV is in the building. Shout out Isha. Boo. I got to start going live, man, and playing beats for y'all, man. Hey, if y'all got me on Instagram, pull up on me. I'm going to be on there for a little bit. I'm going to smoke a little bit, and I'm going to play some beats for y'all, man. So if you have me on Instagram, you follow me on there, go there right now. Leave this live. Just leave. Get the fuck out of here. Go to Instagram. My Instagram, BLACKKGMS. You see it on the side. Pull up on me. We going to play some beats. We going to smoke a little bit, and we going to kick it, all right? I'll see y'all over there. GMS fam, the green room. We out. Now hand your moin.